Well, good Saturday morning. Welcome back to the channel. Working in the shop today, and got the little Jeep Willys in here. I just got to throw some license plate tags on it real quick. We finally got them through the mail, so it'll be legal even though it's rainy outside and I don't want to drive it. It'll have tags on it, so we'll do that. I've got to change the oil in the wife's Ford pickup. We call it Johnny, the man in black, little F-150. Got to change the oil and some belts on it, and then got to pull in the big work truck, the Kenworth, and grease it. Got some other little things to do on it. Just check it over, make sure it's safe and everything's working like it should. So anyway, we'll get started on that and bring you along. Clean this old sticker off and put this new one right on top of it. Makes it good till October of the 2025. So I'll take a little bit of brake cleaner, squirt it on a rag here. We'll just wipe it off. Here comes the dogs, look out. What are you doing, boys? Now that should make everything clean. Dry it off good. Take our new sticker. These stick really fast, so you want to get them just right. Just like that. Now we'll go do the back. Pretty exciting stuff, right? All right, I'm going to jack up the front of this pickup, put some jack stands under it so I can get under there, get to the oil drain plug and the filter. It's just a little bit lower than my truck driver body can fit under. So we'll get that jacked up, throw some jack stands under it, grab a drain pan, and we'll start working on that. I was right over you, Jake. Not on purpose. Not on purpose, oh dog. So I am using Napa filters. Had good luck with them. Our local Napa is a good store, good parts guys, easy to deal with. I've been using this Pennzoil. It's a full synthetic 530 weight for this. Seems to work fine. Used Pennzoil most of my life, so we'll keep going with it. All right, we'll get slid under there and see what we need. Turn on my sun lamp here. Check this bad boy out. LEDs. This light was given to me by my dad's neighbor. Heck of a nice guy. Gave me 3 of them. These things are bright. Set it under there. You don't want to look directly into it, it'll blind you. The right cord here. Plug in to work. Oh yeah. You got to see this. Now that's a drop light. So that thing is like looking into the sun. They were out of a sawmill and they didn't want them anymore, or they didn't like them. I don't know if it was a light or what, but anyway, I wired it into an extension cord and made a drop light out of it. It's really nice under a big truck where it's just pretty dark under there because there's so much truck there to be in the way. But anyway, they work good. So that's my drop light. Sneak under there and see what we gotta have. Ye old trusty creeper. Gotta drop a skid plate. I think they're 13 mil, they might be 12. If I can find one. See if the 13 fits it. Oh, like a glove. Got my little zippy air wrench here. So this is a butterfly. Run it back and forth with a butterfly on top. Thing's fast. It's pretty powerful. If you don't throw it on the floor, it's even better. Scooch under here. So they got these back ones slotted, like you shouldn't have to take them out, but then the pan goes up around the cross member, so that doesn't help. Alright. Let's see. Oh yeah. I think we're going to sit on top of that. Remember, right? It's got a cute little fiber deal under there too. The light's so bright I can't hardly see. Okay. Everything's nice and dry still under here. That's good. Remember where that drain pan's at. Drain plug. Okay, drain plug's on the side. I think I can leave that. I'll show you what I got going on under here. Yeah, a lift would be fantastic. But that's down the road a ways. Alright, we'll show you what we got going. So I got that skid plate dropped. It's hooked to that's just like fabric, like hard fabric under there. I could take it off too, but that drain plug comes off the side of the pan. So I think I can just leave the drain pan right there. Try to get you in there where you can see what I'm doing. Let's see. We'll go up. Try to capture that. I know, riveting stuff. Pretty exciting. Okay, drain in. Then can't see anymore because I looked into the light. What size I need? Probably let's say 15 millimeter. Get under here. There. Double the wrenches up. I don't even know. Oh, there we go. Just had to manhandle it. Okay, now for the fun part. Doing this without getting a little handful of oil. If you kind of keep the plug, you can kind of tell when it's about to come out. And then okay. We'll slide that back so when it slows down, it set that right there. You're gonna find the filter again. It's been a while. I serviced this last summer, and trying to remember where everything's at. I've done a lot of different stuff since then. It's under there somewhere. Or did they leave it? Starter. It's not jumping right out at me. Where it is. Interesting. Where the heck did they put it? Oh, that's weird. There it is, front of the motor. Right where it'll run all over everything. Of course. So yeah, that filter is up here above this cross member. So guess where all the oil goes when you take it off? All over the cross member and everything else. I'm gonna need my drain pan, so we'll let that finish draining. Kind of just look things over while I'm under here. Last summer I serviced the front differential, transmission, the rear axle, the transfer case, changed the oil. I'm just checking to make sure everything is still good. There's been no leaks. I mean, it's completely dry. And we took this pickup and our big camp trailer, our 29-foot camp trailer, to Utah and back, which is, I think we put on like, I want to say it was like 2,000 miles total going down there, driving around and coming back. It was quite a bit. And pulling that trailer with this, the trailer is an ultralight, so it's not heavy, it's just long. But this thing did awesome pulling it. And yeah, everything's happy under here. This front differential is kind of a pain to service. You can't get the pan off with the rack and pinion steering right in front of it. So you can crack it, get it loose and crack it. There's no drain plug, which is not handy. So for you engineers that are watching, when you build stuff like this, put a drain plug in it. It's got a fill plug, but no drain plug. It's got a spot for one. You just don't have one. So a drain plug would have been sweet. I could have just pulled that, drained it, filled it back with fresh oil, done. Had to try to pull the cover. You can't get it off because it won't come around the ring gear. And then try to get that all sealed and back on there is not fun. So anyway, a little public service announcement there. Engineers sometimes don't think about servicing stuff later. You guys do an amazing job on building stuff, I'll give you that, but from a mechanic's standpoint, it'd be really neat if stuff was serviceable. Alright, oil drain plug tight. Now we'll come up here and pull this. See if I can spill this oil everywhere. I'm gonna need this. Oh baby. Because that's gonna drain right down the front of that differential. Pretty much. Kind of a Oh, glad those weren't open. Yeah. Bring it back around. You can kind of see what I'm doing here. All right. Get under here. So the filter's right there. Right there's the filter. Right above all of this goodness. So when we pull that filter, it's easy to get to, but it is going to make a mess. So get my handy filter wrench out. Got so much stuff in the way here. Kind of fun to do with one hand. Okay, loose there. And it's draining out there. Not too bad. Until you drop it. Oh, that's kind of funny. So there's a this right here that doesn't have any oil coming out of it is what's supposed to be under that filter to catch that oil. Not sure why it's not running down out of that. Like a little funnel. It's supposed to catch the oil, but looks like it's kind of going everywhere else. All right, got my new filter here. Need to make sure this one, I didn't look. Yep, it's got the oil gasket on it. You want to make sure the old one comes off with the gasket still on it. This gasket right here. Make sure that is on that, not stuck up there. I'm going to take a little bit of oil. It don't hurt to use the old stuff. We'll lube that gasket. Don't hurt to use the old stuff. It just came out of the motor. It's clean. And I'm going to screw it back on there. Now with these, you want to go as tight as you can get it by hand. You don't want to use a wrench on them. Okay. You don't want to use a wrench on them because you'll have a heck of a time getting them back off. Alright. So yeah, I got a little bit there on the differential dripping. I'm going to take a little brake cleaner and just kind of spray around, get that stuff cleaned off. Looks like we got a little tiny bit of a leak there on the front of the motor. Can't tell what that is. Looks like oil. Probably coming out of that front crank pulley. So that's interesting. Keep an eye on that. If it develops, we do have an extended warranty on this pickup. And instead of me fighting that, I'm going to take it to the dealer and have them do it. It's probably just a simple gasket there on the front of that crank pulley. Seal, I mean, not a gasket. Probably a simple seal. But anyway, we'll see how that goes. Alright. Got my brake clean. Gonna just spray some up in there. Kind of make sure everything's dry. Spray up on this. Brake cleaner dries up. It's a solvent. And kind of wonder why that didn't catch the... Huh. You'd have thought that would have caught the oil from the oil filter, but it doesn't even go all the way under it. Kind of funny. It's like they put it there for that reason, but it doesn't actually go under the oil filter. So it really doesn't do much, other than just look like they tried. Okay. So that's that. We'll button this skid plate back on. We'll get all these tools out of here. It was raining earlier, so there's water dripping off of this thing. It's kind of nice. It's wet. So, set you up right there. Slide this oil pan out. Try not to slosh. So that oil looked pretty black, and what I've noticed is with the synthetic oil, it gets really black pretty fast. I think it catches more of the dirt than regular oil, old school oil. And this will be fun. All right. That one started. And this one started, it'll stay. Oh, nice. There. This pickup does have about 5,000 miles on the oil change. The manufacturer basically says to go almost 10, and I'm just not gonna do that. That part's good. Now we'll cruise around under the rest of the pickup there while it's jacked up before we go put oil in it. I'll bring you with me here. You can creep along with me. There. Just basically checking for any other issues. Transfer case, it's dry. Nothing leaking there. Looks like kind of keep an eye on the U-joints. Oop. Muffler's good. Rear end's dry. Everything looks pretty happy still. Okay. Yeah, a lift would be really nice. Okay, now we'll take it back down off the jack. Put some oil in it. And get this oil change done. Done with that. Done with that. Sometimes I put stuff away. It's not always. Don't need the sun anymore. Clean these off so we're ready for next time. Oh, and I should have looked if I needed to leave that skid plate off to do the belts. I don't think so, but yeah, we'll deal with that later. Okay. Sometimes you gotta go from underneath to get a belt. I hopefully don't have to do that. We'll see. All right, jack time. One of the fancy NASCAR jacks that just goes up on the first stroke. This floor jack's been around probably about 30 some years now. So it's got some use. Over here, good spot. These A-arm brackets on this truck, they bolt to the frame. Has a nice big flat spot off the bottom you can get a jack on. Makes it easy. Okay. Now, we'll come in here for the fun, exciting stuff. So, oil fill is right here. It says 5W30 on it. That's what we got. We'll grab a funnel. Set you there. Okay. Funnel in. Ooh, I might need a different funnel. Let's see. Clean this one out. A little dirty. I keep brake cleaner around for just about everything. It's like the #1 thing spray I use. I don't use starting fluid because it's too volatile. Too many accidents have happened with it. People get burned. I had a friend that was trying to clean out a 5-gallon bucket. He sprayed starting fluid in it, stuck the rag in there, and plastic creates static. And he started wiping with that rag and that thing blew up in his face, burned him really bad. So I don't use starting fluid. I hardly even use it for equipment because I just don't like it. It's not good for equipment either. I mean, it works, but it's, once they've had it, they'll always need it. All right, so here's our handy dandy Pennzoil, synthetic. Now I know this takes more than 5 quarts. This is 5 quarts right here together. So I'm gonna dump this whole thing in, and we'll check it, see where we're at, and then we'll top off with that other one that I have. I had 2 jugs of this. Oh, it's so pretty. It's the color of what it costs, gold. Can't believe how much oil costs anymore. Used to be cheap doing oil change. Now it's got to take out a second mortgage or sell a kidney. All right, there's 5 quarts. We'll let that settle down to the drain pan. I said drain pan, I meant oil pan. I don't want to drain it, it's brand new oil. Do some looking around here, kind of make sure everybody's happy. Looks like the old motor could use a bath. Don't have any major leaks, just got regular engine grime on it. But yeah, if you ever wanted to see a 3.5 liter EcoBoost V6, well, you still can't see it because it's under all that stuff. But that's what they look like. Big old nasty cover on them. There's turbos in there somewhere. I can hear them. You just can't see them. I think they're on top of the motor in the back. Anyway, she is pretty fast. You put this thing in sport mode and it's like, hold on Nancy. All right, looks like we need a little bit of, we'll go over here to my stash. Looks like I don't have very much of that washer fluid left. She needs a little bit of washer fluid. We'll throw in what I got left here. I like to give the oil a little bit of time to, that don't help, to drain to the pan as it goes through the motor there. Well, I didn't fill it up, but geesh. It's like the never-ending abyss in there. Looks like I need to buy another couple bottles of that stuff. Might actually have some. Let's see. Let's see if we have an extra jug. Oh, yeah. Got lucky. Minus 20, that's good because it's coming on winter. So that one in the garbage. I buy this stuff, I try to buy 2 or 3 gallons at a time so that I've got it around, because I not only use it in my rigs, but sometimes you fill that truck up too. A big truck. Sometimes you just need it, so let's see if I can do this without spilling too much. Nope. There we go. Thing was just about empty. I think it's going to take most of this gallon here. Boy, that's all that's left. She was thirsty. All right, that's full. You always want to look at this while you're under here. It's got min max. It's on minimum. Probably fine on minimum. I mean, it would take a thimble full to get it off of that, so we'll just leave it there. And brake fluid, I can see, is full. It's on the max, so that's good. Like I say, I like doing my own services because then you can check everything out. You know what you got going on. Like that little bit of a leak I got there on the crank pulley, I can keep an eye on that. It's probably not going to develop fast. I mean, it's probably just a little wet, and I don't mind a little wet as long as it's not dripping and or leaking, just flat out leaking, then we're good. So all right, set you back down here. We'll pull that dipstick. Find me a rag. They got the dipstick way down in here where you can't hardly reach it. If I remember right, this pickup takes 6 quarts. Like I say, it's been a while since I changed it. Well, now I can't see I'll have to bring you over here because you got a flashlight. There it is. Clear down there. they put it about low enough where I'm 6 foot tall and I'm standing on my tiptoes here to reach it. Okay, let's see where we're at. So right now we're at the almost full. So I'm gonna go ahead and fire it up. I think it does take 6 quarts. There's gonna be some stays in that filter. So we'll pull this out, lay it over here where it can leak all over my bench. Keep it on a rag, maybe it'll be fine. You always want to put that back in. You don't want to blow oil all over the place. Okay. Probably better wash my hands before I get in Mama's pickup here. She will be unhappy. We'll try this at home, kids. That's why I have dishpan hands. A brake cleaner. But look at that. Clean. Does dry them out though. Brake cleaner really dries your hands out. All right. So we'll get in here. Make sure I'm clean. I'm gonna turn this on. Or start it, I guess. All right, so the motor's running. We got oil pressure. Let's go look. Make sure we don't have anything running out from underneath it. See anything gushing out of there. Those couple drips were on the floor from when I changed the oil. All right. Now, got a cool looking grill in it. I like that. I'm gonna reset the oil life deal. I'm gonna turn this off here. Okay. To turn that flashlight off. So we'll go okay, okay, okay. We know all that. So now we'll go to truck info, engine information, press OK. Percent oil life. It says hold OK to reset. So is that 10% still? It wasn't quite due for an oil change. But like I say, it's been like 5,000 miles, so. Okay, it's resetting. 100%. So there we go. Oil life is reset. So I put this sticker on last time. I think I put it at 3,000 mile interval. That's what I always used to do. It says 58,135 for the next oil change. And we're at 60,081 miles. So 4,000 miles, I guess, is all it has. But anyway, we'll go with that. And that oil change is done. I got to throw some belts on her now. So we'll shut this off. I love the front of these F-150s. They're just cool looking. It's got some pretty cool looking lights on it. It's the newest rig I've ever owned. It's a 2016. So I know a lot of people have newer rigs than that, but it's the newest one I've owned, and it's pretty cool. All right, now we got to find the fan belts, and I know they're in there. There's one way down there. That looks like fun. Okay. Looks like it's going to be a pain in the butt. There's another one way down in there. Yeah, they're definitely dry. It's got like, it's like a rust on it. But, huh, weird. Hopefully that, it's just squeaking in the morning when you start it up. When you first start it, it squeaks until the belt warms up a little. And then it quits squeaking. That one might not be too bad. There's an adjuster right there. I think I can pop that one off pretty easy. Probably need a, looks like a 15 millimeter on a ratchet. I can get to it and pop it off. Not sure which way it goes, but we'll figure that out here in a sec. The other belt's over there on the AC pump. It's all by itself. You got to do it with this belt off. So we'll take the first belt off, and then we'll get to that one. And they said you got to put it on with a Nai-Tai. I guess there's no adjustment, so it's just you got to start it around there, and then Nai-Tai it so it pulls it around, I guess. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. I'll have to probably put something on the crank so I can turn the motor. We'll figure that out, but I want to replace it while I got this other one off. So anyway, we'll get to doing that. My step stool, because I'm too short, even though I'm 6 foot tall. Alright, so down in here somewhere is, let's see if that, well, I dropped that on the floor. Guess I didn't want it anymore. Threw it away. Okay. Let's see here. I'm gonna set you right there. I don't know. It'd be nice if you could see that. I don't think you can. So that's what I'm trying to deal with. So I'll get in there and pull that off. Got this old belt off here. She not too bad. You can see that it's definitely hard. It's got a few little checks in it. It's wasn't close to breaking or giving up. It's just when you start them and they squeak, especially a V belt or this style belt, these serpentines, they when they start up and they squeak, they're just hard. So here's the new one. I'm gonna double check here, make sure it's the same length. Let's see, get you set up here. Your little tripod. Let's say that is a little longer. Hopefully that'll work. Yeah, it's the same. Okay, so this is the new one. I got to get that other belt off. So this is the belt that goes on the AC pump. You got to put it on while this one's off. So that's going to be fun. See how we're going to do that. Because it's way down there too. Like I said, engineers, if you're watching, does this stuff really have to be buried that far and be that much of a pain? AC pump looks like it's bolted straight to the motor, so there's no adjustment on it. So you gotta derail. Definitely a little wet down there. Not horrible, a little wet. Now I'm going to look at that from the bottom side and see if there's an adjustment on that AC pump. We'll do it that way. They said at the parts store you got to use a Nai-Tai to get the belt on, so I'm assuming, yeah, there's no adjustment. It's bolted straight to the dealie there. Awesome. So I can cut that one. Well, I don't know how you'd use a Nai-Tai. Maybe around the crank. Huh. Interesting. Why they didn't just put an adjustment on there. It's right there. It'd be easy. Add an idler or something even. It'd just be handy as as heck. Handier than shirts on a pocket. Or pockets on a shirt, I mean. Okay, so I think I'll just cut that one. And then we'll see if we can roll that other belt on there. Boy, that's going to be interesting. Okay, we'll figure that out. I got that belt on, not without some finagling. That sucks. So there's no adjustment there. You got to pull it around with a nye tie. And then getting it to all go where it needs to lay. Yeah, not enjoyable. You got to turn the motor and push that belt on, and yeah, I think you would think they could come up with something a little better than that. There's room in there for a tensioner. That would have been about a half a minute job with a tensioner, but oh well, they didn't put one on it. Okay, now we're going to put this other one in. Let's see if we can get as mad at it. That was interesting. Not going to say one of the better designs they came up with. Now let's see if we can figure out the routing here. I think I need my light. I had to get a little unconventional on that last one. I didn't show it, let's just say. Okay, so looks like we go around the crank, around, what else we got in there? Water pump, crank. Goes around the water pump, around that, okay. That's easy enough. Around the crank. Backside runs around this tensioner. And then around the water pump and around the alternator. So let's see if I can get it in there. Get my light where I can, it's actually doing light things. Let's see here. Everything on this motor is plastic, seems like. So it's hard to put a magnetic light on plastic. All right, here we go. See if I can get really angry with this one. So, and the crank down there. And as with all these new rigs, there's no room to work. Here's what it is. Okay. Just say, it is what it is. A pain in the butt is what it is. Let's do. Okay, it comes up around there. It's always like a puzzle trying to figure out where everything goes. Okay, that goes around the water pump right there. That goes around the alternator right there. Oh, my arm don't bend that way. Weird. And then that part goes around the crank with tension on it. Okay, that's going to be the fun part. I actually think I need to leave it off here. Put it on the crank first. Get around there, baby. That belt's a little stiff. Okay. Think she's everywhere we want her. Now, just gotta get it. Oh, come on here, where you belong. Okay. Pull up on the tensioner. There. I think that's it. All right. Belt's tight. Hopefully I don't have to do that for another 60,000. That one wasn't bad, but looks like it's laying in all of its happy grooves there. All right. We'll fire her up, make sure she don't make any. All right, so the belts are running happy. Get you down in here where you can see them. Everything's turning like it should. They're in the grooves they're supposed to be in. We'll go under here and look at this AC belt. Make sure it's still running happy. Looks like it's in the correct grooves. Going roundy round. Boy, you really put the stretch on that AC belt when you put it in. Okay, I'm gonna shut it off, then I gotta check the oil one more time. And this pickup is done. Check the oil here one more time. I should paint that thing white or something. It's hard to see. Black on black in a dark motor. Yep, one more quart. It's a quart low. So after it ran and filled the filter, that thing is really hard to see. There we go. I could have made that about 6 inches taller. It'd been really easy to get. Okay. Or I could be 6 inches taller. And I'd have been easy to get too. One more quart. So, dump this in. See where we're at. Oh man, that was perfect. Right at 4. The 5 quart jug went to 4. That should be good. I'm gonna put this on the shelf. Try not to drip everywhere. That back in. Let that settle for a sec. Hopefully that's not leaking. Huh. I don't know about these push together hoses. Not sure I'm impressed with that. Interesting. Okay, we'll pull this oil dipstick again here. Wipe it off clean. Viola, she's right on the money. 6 quarts it says. I don't know if I could see this. Kind of put that in an inconvenient dark little spot. Okay, I'm gonna fire this thing up again. Make sure everything's happy here. That's it for the Ford. Close that there hood. We'll back this old girl out of here and we'll pull that big truck in. I gotta move these 2 lawnmowers and that lift I'm working on. I gotta move them out of the way so I can bring that big truck in a little farther.